The Square Ball Podcast.
Welcome to the show. We're back to do another one. It's the Square Ball update with Dan, with Michael, and with Dean. Happy anniversary, Dean, by the way.
Thank you.
It's a year since you sat in this chair and made your Square Ball debut. A very capable pair of hands.
Thank you. Yes, it was Leeds United 3, Hull 1, straight into the fire because it was a match ball and I had to do all the buttons and stuff. Happier times. Remember when we used to win?
I remember Hull this year as well, though, and let's not...
Yeah.
Do you remember having dreams and hopes?
Yeah, once upon a time.
Anyway, levisolicitors.co.uk/the Square Ball for a 10% discount on your legal fees. I've gone with the ending first there. Do you want to back the car up and do the rest of it?
Do you know what? I was listening back for, you'll hear this on propaganda. I listened back because Graham Smith mentioned the Luton game in the promotion season, said, how did you feel after that? So I've gone back and I've listened to it.
How did you feel?
I didn't feel great, but you and Moscow were better. I was not in a good place with that draw. But I did notice on the read, you didn't give me half as much to do back then.
Right.
You used to do most of it.
Right.
So it's just goes to show.
Because I didn't trust you, but we've got
just goes to show how much you rely on me to say Will's probate and conveyancing.
It's a relationship built on trust now. That's what it is.
All right.
I finally trust you after all these years.
Good.
I know I'm probably wrong to do so, and you prove that week in, week out.
Yeah, true. Well, if you've had incompetent service from someone, it could have been professional negligence.
We have used that quite a lot, though.
Yeah, no.
I know.
What can you do?
I know. It's quite dry, isn't it? It's soliciting.
Yeah, it is. It is. But still, necessary.
The lawmen and lawstresses of this world. levisolicitors.co.uk/the Square Ball. Find a link in the description as well of the episodes. Back for another update. How do you feel a couple of days on? I personally, after I got quite upset, you may have noticed I was a bit emotional on the match ball. I realised afterwards, I thought, if somebody else steals our propaganda idea for another club, I'll be all over that. Losing my head.
I did. I listened to the...
I'm all right now, though.
I'm glad to hear. Well, are you?
Well, I say that. I went to Aldi last night at about 9:30 just to pick up some bits. And when I was in there...
Which would you say went to Aldi?
The mothership, the home one.
The local.
The idle Aldi, yeah.
Fair enough.
One close to me, yeah, not a distant one.
Fair enough.
And just, picked up the bits that I need. And I just had an impulse to buy a pot of jelly and then neck it in the car park.
Okay.
So I did. Didn't have a spoon, so I just slid that foil top right off there and just sort of poured it into my neck.
They're quite slippery, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those. I think they're a slightly different texture than homemade jelly, aren't they?
Yeah. This is Jell-O for our American audience.
Yeah, it's not.
I know you're probably lost now.
Eating jars of actual jam in an Aldi car park is that's too much.
Yes. Spoon-free jam, never good. Doing it in a supermarket car park, worse.
This is a guy, Michael, who literally just said, I feel okay now. And then he just told an anecdote about going to his favourite little supermarket, his safe space, feeling compelled to shovel some jelly in his face.
It's only a pot, because I thought, do you know what? I hadn't had jelly for years. So I'm going to have a little pot of jelly.
So
I don't know if this is still the breakdown or not.
So there's part of regression. Is what this is.
Probably.
There we go.
But did you buy some nappies and pop one on as well?
No, I'm not like you in your special club.
Yeah, fair enough.
Speaking of special clubs, I need to say thank you to the bloke who works in Costa inside Next in Guiseley. Popped in for a coffee the other day, and he handed me a cup but with a square ball icon logo thing just drawn on the top. And he went, "There you go, mate. Enjoy your drink." And I thought, this is like Fight Club, where we just all give a little silent nod and a wink to each other. And
was the coffee free?
No, God, no, I paid for it. I would never put that on someone.
What?
It's only Costa's money. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true enough.
I'm taking a freebie from Costa.
That's Coca-Cola, isn't it? As well now, is Costa who own Costa.
Is that right?
Yeah.
From a local independent, I think you should be paying. But
yeah.
Costa, fuck those guys.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Unless they want to sponsor us.
In which case,
you can get.
We love big coffee.
Coffees, Americanos, cakes, probably.
Big three.
Yeah.
Your lattes, your
kappas.
Yeah.
Your Americanos.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. It's always so smooth.
Yes, their coffee is so smooth.
Well, there we go. I got recognised from the Square Ball when I was giving blood on Sunday. The person who was taking my blood out was like, "Oh yeah, I watch the show, I love the show." And I thought, this is a really wholesome day. I was giving blood, talking to someone who likes the show. I thought, this is really lovely.
Did you not, on Sunday, did you not say, keep going, keep going, keep going? Just take the 9.
Take all of it.
Take the 9.
But no, I got back in the car and I felt really chuffed. Like, sun was shining. It was nice, and I got back in the car and I looked in the rearview mirror. I had a massive bogey in my nose.
Oh, no.
And I was like, he could have said something though.
Hey, you're in there saving lives, Dean.
Yeah, but I felt second-hand embarrassment for him about me. Like, just say, dude, you got a bat in the cave. Come on.
I felt the clouds lifting on Sunday evening. Do you know what's fixed me? And I've done it 2 nights on the trot. And again, this could be another sign of the breakdown. You tell me. I don't know. I've taken to watching really mediocre rom-coms on Netflix.
Okay.
Just to make myself feel, really sentimental ones.
Yep.
To make myself feel better. And it's actually worked.
What have you been on?
Which films?
Yeah.
So the one on Sunday.
I'm not much of a rom-com man, so you'll have to.
The one on Sunday night was La Dolce Villa on Netflix, which is about an American student. I think she's got Italian heritage. Like they sell off they're like rundown properties for like €1 in a bid to regenerate the area. And it's about, she's done that. Her dad catches wind of this back in Ohio, so he flies out to try and talk her out of it. But obviously, love unfolds, and all that. He's widowed as well. Lovely film. Very, very mediocre, but absolutely lovely. Watched that on Sunday. And then last night it was, I think it's called The Life List, it's called.
Okay.
Where, again, it's about...
this sounds like proper landfill.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It was great. But didn't have to think too hard to watch it. But that was quite a journey as well. That was about a woman who'd lost her mum, and her mum set her the task of, if you want your inheritance, you've got to work through this list of things that you set yourself, goals you set yourself when you were 13 years old. You've got to go achieve these to basically be the best version of yourself. And it's about the journey she goes on to claim her inheritance.
Was there a scene where she ate jelly in a car park?
That was one of the first ones, yeah.
That film's got a 7 rating on IMDb. I thought
that's not bad, actually.
No, I thought looking at this it'd be a 4.2.
I was going for solid sort of 4 to 7 region things. I think just something that's not too challenging, but would just leave me feeling nice and fuzzy. Because I'm quite sentimental. Really.
Were you eating ice cream at the time under a big duvet, crying?
Just crying.
Okay.
No, I didn't cry. Just sat there silently thinking about my life choices. Well,
it's been a weekend, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine now.
I feel much better, I have to say. I think, do you know what?
It is. It's letting go of the hope, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I was annoyed that we'd let it slip.
I was more annoyed.
Being top never suited us. It never suited me.
You've said this.
I had too much stress with it. Yeah. Actually, feeling like it's now over, even though we're still second. Having that feeling though wash over me. I'm not worried about losing it anymore because we have lost it, that lead.
So anything that happens from here is a bonus. It's like the playoff final last year. That didn't even touch the sides compared to this weekend.
Yes,
I was a lot more annoyed this weekend.
I went into that fully expecting we'd lose, and we did. So I was like, all right. Yes.
So is it about our expectations going into that particular game? Is that
Probably.
What we're saying?
Because I really thought we'd win on Saturday.
Yeah, I did, yeah. We've been getting dug out quite a lot in the members' feedback because on the members' show that went after the game.
I listened to it on my dog walk on Monday. I was like, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, I predicted 3-0. You predicted 5-0.
Yeah, 3 at half time, I said, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then I signed off the show with, right, we'll speak to you again next week after this 5-0 win against Swansea.
Yeah.
And I predicted a bright, rosy future.
See, I thought we'd win before the game. I thought we'd win after 1 minute gone.
I thought we'd win after 86, mate.
I thought we'd win after about 95 minutes gone.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
No.
But anyway.
Can I just, I've not been on a show since, can I just say I still think we'll win the league? And I don't know where it's coming from. It might just be blind optimism, but it's still there. And it's genuine. I'm not just saying it.
Yeah, I did say on the match ball, I think it's a toss of a coin now. It's 50-50 and I don't trust us to do it. And I don't. But I still think we might.
I think we were. I was texting you down across the weekend. I think the most likely outcome from these next 7 games is that we finish second, which we'd take because that's still promotion. But I still think that they will drop points away from the game where they're playing each other. One or both of them will drop points there, and I think we'll stumble to first.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? Stumble. I mean, not necessarily the first bit,
but if looking back to sort of mid-February time, I remember I think I probably sat in this seat and said, I want the title. I genuinely think if we go up in second my response to that will be quite muted. I think that with this squad, with the way that we've played for a lot of this season, finishing second would feel like a kick in the dick, like it did when we finished second in League One.
No, that on the day that felt good.
It didn't. I
think if we get a day like that, we'd forgive finishing second, because at the end of the day, what's at stake is another fire sale versus giving it a go in the Premier League, which doesn't exactly fill me with joy and sunshine thinking about being up there. But it's the necessity, isn't it, from a financial perspective, which is what I suppose has taken quite a lot of the fun out of this season. It's about the prize at the end. I tried to compare it in my mind to when Leeds went up in 1990, and the finances in football were a lot closer then. You could move between Division 1 and Division 2 as it was then, the top two tiers, and with little consequence. And I remember we had players in our squad who were, top tier players. Chris Fairclough dropped down from, was it Spurs we signed him from? And Strachan obviously came from Man United, and they were on comparably big wages at the time, probably what you would class as top tier wages, because the disparity wasn't so great. And if we hadn't gone up that season, it would have been disappointing, but not like, it doesn't feel like it's completely wrapped up in existential terror now, like the future of the club might as well just get in the bin forever. And I think social media plays a part in it as well. But but we still might do it. I think the one saving grace, the one thing that we've actually got in our locker now is time, games.
Yeah.
There's time to undo it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a terminal decline, even though at 96 minutes on Saturday, I would have happily just dived in the canal.
It's weird how terrible it feels, because I went and I checked back on my. We're going to leave your spreadsheets down because of.
I've barely opened them since.
I don't think anyone needs to hear anymore. But my predictions spreadsheet that I did ahead of us playing the little Sunderland Sheffield United bit. I had us at this point level on points with Sheffield United, with Burnley 3 behind us. So it's actually not far off where I expected us to be, really. Yeah. It's still it's within a couple of points, and it's all very tight, which is kind of where I expected us to be. But God, it feels sad.
Is it the comparison between the feeling when Pirou's goal went in to make it 3-1 at Bramall Lane? Is it the comparison between the feeling, the ball in the back of the net after it squirms under Meslier on the weekend? Is it that? Is that what we're feeling? Is it the decline from that? Because if these results had been spread a little bit more thinly across the season, we might be sat here going, we're in second place, 7 games to go, here we are.
Yeah. It's because it felt so close to being done not long ago.
I think it's also very hard to ignore the fact that we've got a squad, and we have, for the most part, had the squad that we've had in this division, and being a bit annoyed, whether it's fair or not, that we've not run away with it. And it's hard not to look at Mellier's errors over the course of the season and say, well, we could and should be points ahead of where we are now.
I think it is now getting to the point where it is daft thinking of the different points total that we might have had. Like before, it was, we're talking, maybe 4, maybe 6 points. I think it's now double figures, where with one of the other top goalkeepers in this division, you could probably comfortably say we'd be 10 points clear. And that is so frustrating.
Yeah.
So frustrating. I was listening to the Graham Smith show that you guys did on Saturday, but I listened to it this morning. And he seems to think that there will be some movement in goal. He's playing Meslier. Farker is playing Meslier on Saturday.
I think it's gone too far now. I think it's untenable. I don't think you can.
I feel like he might have seen enough.
Yeah, I feel
like it's at the point where other people may be intervening as well at this stage, whether it's his own players or people on the board or his coaching staff being like,
I can't see it.
Maybe it's time to make a little change.
There's a really interesting conversation to be had around that, actually, around the power dynamic. And what I was saying, was it on the show with Graham, where you fear that this has actually gone too far? Like, see, if he'd taken Meslier out in the wake of Hull, even if it was just for a bit, then he's responded to sort of a second incident where you've gone, come on, Elon, what the hell? And then it takes the heat out of it. But because it's then happened again, it's just exponentially made it worse, is what I think.
Yeah.
And now he looks like he's being reactive, and that takes power out of his hands, if you know what I mean. And I wonder if behind the scenes someone said, come on now, it takes it out of his hands even further, and it weakens his position somewhat from this, well, as it was reported, Farke interviewing us, not the other way around, and being the manager and not the coach and stuff. It changes that a little bit, is what I mean about the power dynamic. Does it undermine him a little bit by allowing it to get this far, by having to have other people? I mean, it's only theoretically say, Daniel, please.
But that's why I don't think he will change it. I think he's stubborn to the point where he has nailed his colours to the mast for the entire season so far and said, Mellier's my man. I just don't think, I think he maybe even knows, or maybe he thinks that next season, no matter what happens, he's not in a job. And so with us, so he's going, right, he can come out and he can say something like, we will 100% be playing Premier League football next season, and I'm just going to keep Meslier in there. And if it happens, I can go, I told you so.
You see, I disagree, because I think he played Rothwell the other week against his better judgment. So I think he is a little bit reactive at times when it comes down to it.
Yeah. I think possibly there's a slightly deeper issue there with Meslier, that he seems to have always wanted him in net for whatever reason, whether or not it was completely a theory, but whether or not Caldala was just basically put in his squad and he was like, oh, I didn't really need him, so I'm just not going to use him. And he's been a bit childish with it, because it feels like it's a weird level of ignoring a perfectly. I mean, he's played a lot of games, hasn't he, Caldala?
Yeah, certainly not flawless from what we've seen. But then again, look at the alternative now. He's a guy whose confidence is completely shot.
Yeah, I
just make it a non-conversation. I think that's what you have to remember, and I think is the reason why he will probably make the change.
And Luton as well are gonna just bang a load of long throws and long balls into the box, aren't they? Seems to be the way they play at the moment. So I would rather that wasn't as much of an obvious problem.
Yeah. Because even if Darlow does fuck that up, you go, okay, then we've seen the alternative, and now we understand why you kept Meslier in for so long.
And then Middlesbrough, Alex Cairns. In you go.
Let's worry about that. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. We've actually had the player ratings have come in from our TSB Plus members, and Meslier did not fare well. An average score of 1.59 out of 10. Lord only knows what that would have been if he hadn't saved a penalty.
With 1 as the bottom available score.
Right.
So
because you fucked up the spreadsheet.
Well, it's just a scale, isn't it? I'm going to do it between 2 and 7 next year. That'll upset you.
What upset me?
See how you like that. But yeah, not great.
Like you guys talked about on the match ball, and then with Graham as well, when Meslier dived to his left to make the save that resulted in the corner that he dropped, I turned to my dad and said, do you know what? He's been brilliant today, Meslier. And he had been up until that point, and then he gave them 2 goals. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, no one came out well in the player ratings. Only Joe Rothwell got above a 5. The rest of them...
Wilf Nonto, 6.48 from the bench.
So the bench, yeah. Firpo, all right from the bench. Matteo Joseph, not so much. Ampadu, probably his lowest score of the year there, I'd say, 2.98. But, clearly not fit.
And I feel like the members are voting Willie Nonto to be the player of the match here, to put a marker down for Farke. Get him in the fucking team. Put him in the team.
Daniel Farke got a 2.63 out of 10, which is right towards the lower end of all the scores that we got. And Ben Toner, that dickhead child ref, 2.09 out of 10. I thought it was awful. And his terrible performance at the weekend was probably overshadowed by Meslier doing Meslier things. And he got away with it a little bit there. Did that boy.
Definitely. I think if Meslier had have smothered that 96-minute shot, and we'd have ended up winning the game, I feel like you could probably flip those scores. I think Ben Toner, the dickhead ref, would have got the lowest marks. He was poor, man. Yeah. His consistency was wank. He was all over the place.
Yeah, but weirdly, I wasn't even annoyed. He was like not particularly in my thoughts.
Yeah, and for once, he added on loads of time at the end for time wasting, didn't he? The idiot.
Yeah. God.
I know. Yeah, time wasting, obviously, one of my big bugbears. I think there should be a thing that if you've done time wasting and then you actually want the time added back on at the end, you don't get it.
Right.
You should be able to have a word with the opposition captain and say, I'm adding 6 on here, but 2 of them are them fucking about. Do you want to add them? Should we want to play them, or should we not?
Right.
And you can just knock them back off. Because it's unfair.
Yeah.
Breaking up the game like that to then go and go and cheat and win in the draw in the 96th minute.
It did feel like a defeat.
It felt fully like a defeat, didn't it?
It was bad.
It was. I mean, in some ways, it is worse than a last minute defeat because you're losing 2 points rather than one, aren't you?
Mm.
From a point of a last minute winner going in.
Yeah.
Whereas at this stage of the season, losing 2 is key.
It hurt, did that? It really hurt. And I normally stay till the very bitter end. And when that one hit the net, I just walked down the gangway and went out and was lucky enough to, because my route back here to the office takes me past the south stand and therefore the away end. So all you hear under those circumstances is the away fans, the noise leaking out of the gap at the end of West Stand B. And it just, that possibly informed a bit of what you heard on the match ball on Saturday evening.
In the daily email that went to members yesterday, Chris said when the goal went in, a couple of people hear him just got up and left, just silently wandered off. It was kind of that vibe, wasn't it? It was just like, well, I'm going to go before I hurt myself or someone else. See you later.
Yeah.
Football's daft, isn't it?
Dreadful.
What else have we got then to talk about? 21s, drew 2-2 with Scum at Thorpe Arch. We're 2-0 up.
Went 2 up, then Gray got injured. Then we drew.
Right.
Sounds like a typical good day for Leeds United.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah, and the women won 2-0, but they've knackered up the chance of getting promoted, so what's the point anymore in any of it?
Well,
just another reason to shut the whole thing down.
At least we know we can sell the women's team next year to meet all the financial obligations.
Right.
Because that's what Chelsea have done, isn't it?
Is it?
Have you not seen this?
No.
Chelsea have sold the women's team to them to a different company, which is still Chelsea, for like 150 million quid.
Shut up.
So they've not broken any PSR rules.
It's fucking stupid.
Can you do that?
Well, they have done, and they've said, yeah, that's so we're all within the boundaries now.
So Chelsea women are now not technically part of Chelsea football
Yeah, it'd
club.
be like if another bit of the 49ers bought the Leeds women's team for like 150 million quid, and everyone went, and when they went, yeah, that seems about right. That seems about what it's worth. Yeah.
Do you know what? Whether we stay up or go down, fucking do it. I've had enough of us playing fair. I really have. I advocated for this over the week. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it. Right, just completely. Yeah. Tsunami this division. If we end up down here again next year, and if I haven't driven off to Inverness at this point and walked into Loch Ness, then just do it. I'm sick of it. Look at where Forest are going to be in the Champions League because they cheated.
Yeah. Chelsea. I've just found got the article now. Chelsea announced
Villa cheated their way out of this division as well. They
turned a pre-tax loss of 90.1 million into a pre-tax profit of 128.4 million, and that was done by selling the women's team for 152.5 million.
Right.
It seems a lot.
Can I see you working out on that, please, Chelsea?
Well, there's new associated party related party transactions for stuff like this about fair market value. So I suppose one of the few things that's probably not being assessed is the fair market value of the women's team.
Yeah.
They sold 2 hotels to the same company last year,
right,
for £76 million.
Yeah,
that was last year's trick. Maybe we could sell like the pavilion. There's not much else around the ground, is there?
That looks to be worth at least 100 million to me.
I'd say so.
I know they valued when they were looking at Ellen Road. They valued the land at about 5 million, didn't they? So if you demolished Ellen Road, the stadium, the land itself is worth about 5 million. I think that pavilion looks loads more.
The ticket booth near the West Stand, 100 million.
Oh yeah, the old club shop one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's worth a lot.
But it's vintage, isn't it?
I was going to say that is a genuine antique. In fairness,
it's vintage, and I once saw Eddie Gray in there, so it's got historical relevance to the city of Leeds. 100 mil.
It's effectively a museum.
It is effectively a museum. Well, if it's a museum, 200 million.
In fact, that was the entrance to the football museum in Euro 96, wasn't it, that way?
It was, yeah.
So that it is a museum. It's been a museum.
I'm not sure. I don't know, was it? I think that was a separate building. It was on the...
It's nearby then.
It was near then. It was near there.
Yeah. It was museum adjacent. So I think that's a cultural...
The Ellen Road creche is surely a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So we can sell that for 300 million.
So this is if there's anybody from the ownership or the club or anything. Just fucking do it.
Yeah,
I'm sick of this now. I've had enough trying to play fair. And let them tie us up in legal battles for years and we'll tell them to fuck off.
I mean, the long plan on this for all these owners is that it'll all go away at some point.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist of bypassing financial fair play stuff to this point. Like Man City have done it very well. Chelsea are clearly getting by fine on it.
Yeah.
Newcastle have kind of gone up to the line on it, haven't they, with some of their stuff? Got some great Newcastle clips for propaganda, by the way.
Great.
You think my sponsorship reads are shit? Oof.
All right.
Wow, there's some great stuff to come from them.
Can't wait to hear all the other stuff.
It's pretty light on the Leeds United stuff.
Mm.
There was some Swansea fans who you couldn't even hear in the West Stand. Get some better mics, come on.
Yeah.
Mm.
But no one wants that anyway.
We could buy ours and we shut this fucking thing down in the summer.
5 million for bulldoze Ellen Road. Shut this down.
I do.
Anyway, feeling a lot more positive as I was saying.
Yeah, I like I said at the start, I still think we'll win the league. There's 7 games left. The question I was going to ask you guys probably 20 minutes ago is: would you prefer to have 7 games left or 1? Would you prefer a straight shootout at Luton?
Yes.
Why?
Get it done.
Okay, so just purely for pain, you're just going to rip the bandage off.
Yeah.
Just to take away all the stress. It's become too much. The season's too long in the EFL. 46. It's too many games.
Yeah,
and it's too exhausting mentally. And I don't blame the players for being mentally tired with this either.
We were top of the league after 38 games. That's the real quiz.
Right.
That's what the Premier League play.
Oh, okay.
So after 38 games, we were top of the league. Give us the trophy, and you can all fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wider conversation, a different conversation, but I think there's probably scope for making 5 20-team divisions now in this country and regionalise what would probably be. Would it be League 2 regionalised? I suppose you'd have, wouldn't you?
League 2 and the conference become a bit of a blend.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where would you put us?
As far down as possible.
Yeah.
Preferably. Start again. Make it fun again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take us away from this madness at the top.
I would have settled the whole thing on a flip of a coin this second, given the choice.
Would you really?
Just so I know. We won a European game once, didn't we, on the flip of a coin?
We did. Yeah.
Against Bologna?
Could have been.
All right.
Would you really, or is that a bit?
I don't know. Do I trust a flip of a coin more than Leeds United? I probably do.
Let's frame it this way then. If you were able now, if someone could say to you, you'll never have to watch another football match again in your life today, would you take it?
No.
You'll never have to watch Leeds United again in your life.
No, because I enjoy it a lot of the time. But once it gets to this part of the season and we're fucking it up so spectacularly.
We're not though, are we? We're not.
We kind of are.
We're not.
We can't put in your last 8 games, get your last 8 games spreadsheet open and look at our last 8 results, Daniel.
The thing is, right?
Tell me then. We're not in the process of fucking
this up. On the joint worst run of the season. We are. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to tell you which spreadsheet it is or where it is, but we've equaled our worst. It's all right, fine. It's a 7-game run of the season, right? Mm-hmm. We've equaled it. But
have we had as bad a 7-game run?
Yeah.
When was that?
Games 8 to 14. So it was draw, win, draw, win, loss. Yeah, so that'll be leading into the Blackburn game, I presume. Or whichever one when it was before that. Yeah, so we did. So, yeah. And
what was the 7 games after that?
We did win, loss, win, draw, win. That's more than 7, but yeah, it was mostly wins.
So there we go. We'll take that.
In fact, I think it's whichever the second defeat of the season was. It's following that.
There we go. So next 7 games, all green, win the league.
I mean, if we do win the next 7 games,
we win the league.
Well, we'll go up.
No, if we win the next 7 games, we'll win the league.
Will we?
Yeah.
Yes. Almost certainly.
I think if we win 6 of the next 7 games, we'll win the league.
Right.
It'd be remarkable to win all the remaining games and not win the league, I would say.
Yeah. But I said mathematically, that's not assured, is it?
No,
it's not assured, but it would be likely. But Burnley and Sheffield United will drop points. One or both of them will drop points against each other, and they will drop other points this season.
Yeah,
they will.
I know.
It's the championship. Championship's going to championship. I was texting my mate the other day. He was so down about the Swansea game, as was I. I'm not saying I wasn't.
I see Dean's hit the bargaining stage of grief now.
But he was like, we can't even beat Swansea. He was going, we can't even beat Swansea at home. And I reminded him that Sheffield United got beat 3-0 at home by Hull. Like, championship is going to fucking championship. Let's keep our heads.
Since that game, they've won 4 and drawn 1.
Yeah, good for them. That's them. We'll do our thing.
They made the mistake there.
Yeah.
Of having new January signings to settle in, which they were struggling to do.
Yeah.
Not us.
Yeah.
Not us, thankfully. We kept our number 10 slot pure.
We are seeing Nigel Martin on Friday. Shall we get him in the team? Should we keep him up here? Put him in goal?
Yeah.
That's why not. What is he, 50?
Yeah.
50-ish? Bit older, maybe? Yeah.
God, he's going to be asked so much about.
Oh, it's all anyone's going to speak to him about.
So,
and he's a really...
You fancy a game next? You fancy a game tomorrow, Nigel?
And he's a really nice bloke as well, so he'll probably just be nice about him.
I've never met him, and I had, for 2 consecutive seasons, I got the goalkeeper jersey with Martin 1 on the back.
Nice.
So I'm just going to be stood there going, hello, Mr. Martin. Nice to see you.
He's 58, actually.
Is he?
That might be a bit...
That'd be fine.
That might be a bridge too far.
Goalkeepers play on a lot later these days.
Yeah, you get loads of 58-year-old goalkeepers.
And while 58 is probably at the upper end of it.
The upper end.
Pushing the envelope a little bit. Let's finish on a positive, all right? Because Graham Smith described me as Eeyore on Monday's show.
I heard this, yeah.
So I want to say this. It might not happen, and dear Lord, it feels like it certainly won't. But Saturday comes around. If we beat Luton at lunchtime, at the same time, Burnley are at Coventry. If they were to lose, it all shifts again, doesn't it? And you probably feel a million times better than you do right now.
Yes.
For me, it's all about our feeling, right? And I don't just mean us as fans. I mean inside the dressing room as well. If we can go to Luton, put in a good performance, get 3 points, doesn't matter what anyone else does, there's still 6 games to play. If we can recapture a little bit of that control, a little bit of that ruthlessness going forward, then we will win the league.
It feels like a very long time since we won a game we didn't expect to win. Because I know we've had we did beat Millwall in the middle of this bad run. But it's mainly been disappointment, hasn't it, week after week for a while now. We need to get in a run where, like a win at Luton would feel like a genuinely good result now, because their form has picked up a bit as well, haven't they? They looked a bit dead and buried a couple of weeks ago. They're now are still in the fight to stay up. Maybe
that's what we need. Maybe we need the. Maybe we need that. We needed to fall off a bit in order to panic.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm not saying we needed to lose in order to regain our form, because that's a ludicrous argument. But I'm just thinking back to when Brentford had it in their hands in the previous promotion season. And when it was in their hands, they completely choked. So maybe you just need to be out in front, not rather than chasing.
We were out in front.
No, for it to the collapse to happen, I mean.
Okay.
So now Burnley have got a sniff of it. They're going to panic. They're going to lose to Coventry. They'll lose at Derby. By the time it comes around to playing Norwich at home, arses have completely gone. Then they go to Watford. So 3 of their next 4 are away.
It does do
it's all over for them.
It does do weird psychological things, having it.
And then after that, it's Sheffield. Their next 5 fixtures, they're going to lose 5 out of 5, aren't they? Having only lost 2 games all season, added to their squad and added goals and firepower. But they're going to lose at least 4 of the next 5.
So we'll be up in 4 games time.
Brilliant! Oh wow, lads, what a note to sign off on.
We've done it.
Oxford away. Then is that the day we go up?
We're back. Oh,
nice one.
Happy Easter. That's Good Friday.
Then I guess mathematically confirmed against Stoke at home.
Very Good Friday, and then Happy Monday.
There we go.
Great. I'm glad we settled on that.
Your mouth's smiling, but your eyes aren't, Dan.
Dead, Dean. They are dead.
Okay.
Next time. See you soon.
The Square Ball Podcast.